Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mentor, Ohio, ATM Studios. You're here live with the Race Shop. We're going to wait a couple minutes to get some people on. We got some great talking before we went live on the air, and those are the conversations we should have recorded. But in the studio with us for our first big show is Monster Engine Builder extraordinaire, Joel Phillips. Joel, welcome. And then long time. First of all, I can't believe I got you in here. I think it was the talk of all the food, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely
Longtime racer, friend, father, business owner now with him and his wife and the family. Jeremie Wiggins. Welcome, Jeremie. So, Jeremie, before we get started into this, here, pull your mic closer to you. You can grab it and put it up. Yeah. Joel, when he pushes that in, we'll get you in there. You know, we were talking off the air, and this is something I do have to bring up. You said you've raced that car, and we have topics that we're going to go over, but we're going to try to get everybody signed in and sit down with their beers and everything. Do you need a beer, Jeremie, before we get started?
No, thanks.
Are you sure?
I absolutely.
You know, I've been pushing that all year. Every time I see you, I push you, and you say no. But we were talking off the air. You said you've been racing that car for a couple of years, and I'm the first one to put a dent in it.
Oh, Chase's car, yeah. So, the only dent that we got the whole year is from you.
We could have prevented that. The only way if Chase would have just moved out of the way instead of me pushing him out of the way, we wouldn't have had that problem. But he's a Wiggins. He's not going to move out of the way.
Yeah, no, I told him run you over it all.
I'm pretty sure that's what you did. But we have a lot to talk about. Joel, you've been in the industry a long time, and we're going to talk about some of the engines that you've built. And I'm happy I got to meet you finally, and you built me a nice, strong motor. But Jeremie, when I first met Joel, I said to him, here's my witness. So make sure you pull your mic so he can hear you. We were sitting in his garage, and Joel said, hey, before I build your motor, I want you to come here. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you because he just don't build motors for everybody. And he goes, what do you want? And I said, I want a motor that's going to be Jeremie Wiggins. Did I not tell you that?
Yes, he did.
I said, I need whatever he's got in his car. He goes, I can't give you what he's got in his car.
What, was he going to feel bad for you?
Yeah, probably. And listen, it wouldn't have helped this year. It wouldn't have helped. But we were sitting there talking, and he goes, no, seriously, I need to know what your budget is and what do you want to do? And I said, I'm telling you what my budget is. Whatever I got to do to beat Jeremie, that's what I want. And again, he responded, you're not going to get what Jeremie has. What did he have that you didn't want to give me, Joel?
His motor.
So before we get started, there's a couple things we want to talk about. First of all, for all the fantasy football players that are out there, your leagues are over finally. And even before we got Dave Wallencheck here doing our engineering. So hope we sound perfect this time. So thank you, Dave, for taking the time out, coming here tonight and helping Laura out and getting it all together. She seemed like she's got it. That's cool. But to everybody that's been doing fantasy football this year, hope you won. It's been a rough year. Do you do fantasy football?
I don't.
Do you even watch football?
I do.
I got to take you to a Browns game.
Never.
No, Joel?
Overpaid assholes.
And listen, in our league, I was doing very well. So there was 8 teams in our league, and I was doing very well. And then in the last 6 weeks of the game, I lost every single game. So I ended up going from like 4th or 5th to dead last. But in our league, our champion, a good friend of mine, Steven, you see him on Facebook and TikTok, but guy came about and just kicked everybody's. Do you do fantasy, Dave?
I do.
How'd you do?
I started the season off 6-1 and then went 0-9.
You know what? It's just so with this fantasy, especially with the NFL this year, so many guys getting hurt. Like so many, we have seen more ACL tears and MCLs tore this year than any other season, which kind of sucked. but they get paid millions and millions of dollars. I'll tear my ACL for $40 million. Hell, I'll fight Mike Tyson for $40 million. But congratulations to Steve in our league. Appreciate it. But we did have, I'll have to get a hold of Laura, but we had a new firing. Again, you guys don't follow NFL. Dave, you know who got fired here just a bit ago?
Yeah,
John Harbaugh is eliminated from the Ravens. With all the talk over the last couple of weeks, and Joel, you and I talked about how bad the Browns were doing, and Stefanski don't belong there anymore. Not because he's a bad coach. They won't let him coach. They will not. Even not being a big into it like most of us are, you could see it. But the front office ain't going to let him coach. So he's going to go somewhere and be a coach and probably do really well. But over the last couple of weeks, with all the talk of Harbaugh coming to Cleveland, there's a possibility this all happened just for him. How crazy would it be if Harbaugh comes here and Stefanski goes to Baltimore? That would be.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
That would blow me away if that happened. But all the coaches fired over the last couple of days, it's just been absolutely insane with all the firings. But they're all warranted firings. Nobody got fired that didn't need to be fired. Everybody deserved it. So to everybody that got fired, hope you find a nice paying job.
They all got plenty of money. Don't worry.
And listen, do you have it? My biggest thing out all this is Deshaun Watson sitting at home hurt and making $40 million sitting at home.
Yep.
Now I was talking to Jeremie Holbrooks briefly, and I believe that next year that they're going to let him play. They're going to tell Deshaun, hey man, we're paying you this money. You come in and play. I don't think he's going to be what we want. I think Shedeur Sanders needs a little bit more time to develop. Then all the rumors of this Deion Sanders being our coach, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So hopefully we see some positive changes.
Shedeur Sanders.
It'll, man, who could do it though?
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead and pull your mic up to you. You can pull it up to you.
I mean, that's all there is to it. Just like when Kozar came and Gary Danielson mentored him.
Someone else said that. Someone else said he needed someone to help him, but it wasn't Stefanski. Stefanski, a good coach, would have found him that guy immediately. I don't believe Stefanski really enjoyed Sanders at all. I believe he wanted to stick with Dylan, Gabriel, or Dylan Gabriel. And the front office said enough's enough. Put in Sanders.
Yep. So
I think that's enough of the NFL talk. The Browns are gone. The Browns are home, but the Steelers last week. The Steelers. Now listen, just so everybody knows, that applause for the Steelers is because of Jeremie and because of Dave Walenchek. Walenchek actually went to the game the other night, and but what I wanted to talk about with the Steelers game that's very important is before the game, Dave, there was a priest out on the field. This is not a lie. This is true.
I've seen it.
A priest out in the field throwing holy water in the end zone. And wouldn't you know that Baltimore's kicker, who I feel so bad for, I never feel bad for these guys, but this young kid went wide right in the same end zone where that priest was throwing that holy water. Now, if you don't believe, you better start believing, because Joel's like, no.
That's all.
No, man, that was, I got to get some of that holy water. I got to throw it on my race car. Jeremy, you think it'd help?
No,
Probably not. So congratulations to the Steelers moving on. Dave. So who are they playing?
Texans Monday night.
Monday night, they're playing the Texans. I think they're going to beat the Texans. You don't believe they can beat them? Come on, man. I think they can beat. I really do. I think they can beat Houston. But moving on to our racing, that's why you're tuning in. That's what we're going to talk about with our guest that we have in studio today. We will be serving them dinner from Dynamic. Laura, can we see she's intently doing something.
Because we're trying to get the Thomas up here on the screen for you guys.
Okay. But I'll show you the dinner that was supplied to us from Dynamic Duo. I know you both were happy because you thought that we were having hot dogs tonight. I know Joe, he's so disappointed.
You're full of
So I was going to get Glizzy's to come in here, and Jeffrey shows up out of nowhere. But we were going to get Glizzy's to bring the card here. You guys could have just swung by and picked them up. You drove right by them, but I wouldn't do that to you guys. You guys are special guests. I'm going to feed you very well. Jeremie sent me a picture the other day. He was eating a salad. What was it, like 8:00 at night?
Well, I figure if Chase is not going to want to run the super, I have to fit it.
You'd have to fit in there. I'm sure you'll fit right in there. So let's start off. Oh, here she comes with the subs. Show in front of Joe. Listen, we told Rodney, we said we got some hungry guys. Let me see this.
Take us up.
Man, look at that. Dude, this is only okay.
Yeah, demonstrate how you're going to eat it.
I swear to God.
Hopefully not like the hot dog.
4 pounds of meat.
This is 4 pounds. What do you think this cost? 4 pounds of meat. And,
$10.
you cheap ass.
$15.
20
Close,
bucks.
20 bucks.
20 bucks for all this from Dynamic
Mixed with
Duo.
the food.
So if this was in your fridge, how many days would it be in your fridge?
2.
2 days, Jeremy? You fat ass.
Now, probably 4 or 5.
Damn,
Let
man.
everybody know where these came from. Dynamic Duo in Willoughby Hills, Ohio.
Yeah, those sandwiches from Dynamic Duo are our proud sponsor in Willoughby Hills. Please visit Rodney and those guys. And listen, it's more than just that. He has pizza, really good pizza and everything else. It's kind of crazy that all my sponsors are food places.
Ain't nothing wrong with
I'll
that.
cut those up in a minute.
So let's talk a little bit about NASCAR, and then we'll move into you guys and talk a little bit about you guys. The big announcement this morning that everybody's been hoping for. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, Jeremy. I know Joel has. With Steve Phelps, the comments that he made towards Richard Childress and some other people, told Richard Childress that if he take him out back and flog him, he needs a flogging. Like, first of all, Steve Phelps, you clown. Who uses the word flogging in 25? Like, you're going to take some. And the thing is, Richard Childress, why don't you go do it? Go knock on Richard Childress's door and say, hey, man, I'm here to flog you. This dude's such a clown. He's done so much harm to NASCAR. So much destruction's been done because of Steve Phelps. But one of the stories that I wanted to point on, to really focus on with Steve, was Mike Wallace. You remember Mike Wallace, Rusty's brother, and that? He's been racing NASCAR for years. When we were kids, he was racing NASCAR. And he wanted to go race Daytona last year. And Steve Phelps said, yeah, no problem. So Mike gets it all together. And then Steve Phelps says, no, you don't have enough experience. We're not going to allow you to do that. How insulting. First of all, Mike Wallace has more experience than Steve Phelps will ever have. Steve Phelps come from NFL, come over being a clown in NASCAR and destroyed it. A lot of people won't say it, but I'm going to say it because it's the truth. Steve Phelps destroyed NASCAR with his thoughts and the way he thought it should be. If a company, let's use you and your wife started a company. What's the name of the company?
We didn't start it. We purchased it. It's Hot Lock Salon.
And that's in Westlake.
It is.
So let's say your wife said, Jeremy, we made $1 million this year. We're going to bring somebody else in, and then the next year only make 500,000. You're going to fire that guy, right?
Absolutely.
You'll probably take him out back, kick his ass because he lost $500,000. Joel, you hire an engine builder, a company to come in to promote you, and you lose business. What do? You fire him.
After that.
What does NASCAR do? Keeps them on. And it just shows you the whole foundation of NASCAR and what direction it has gone. Not trying to, like, NASCAR is a blue collar sport. Everybody gets up, they go to work, they work in a factory, you work in a garage, a body shop. That was your foundation. The foundation, since Steve Phelps got in there, he's went in a different direction with it. He's going after fan bases that are not there.
Yuppies.
Yeah, and they're not coming. They're not. Whenever I would run a new racetrack and we would get the foundation built up, all the sponsors would come for one race. You know, hey, we opened up, it's grand opening. We're here. Let's have fun. and then it would disappear the rest of the year. Even if you gave them free tickets, those, what you're saying, the yuppies, the corporate people, very rarely would come after the opening night. And you've seen that too with racetracks changing, but they're gone. That's not the foundation of the sport. And they're saying he resigned this morning. We all know he got fired. You can call it whatever you want. You got
They
fired.
probably told him either resign.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you've taken Richard Childress, who is the foundation of NASCAR. He is the foundation, him and Dale Sr. And Bill France got that. If you remember back in the day, Bill France and Dale were good friends. Bill France knew what he had. Dale knew what he had in Bill France. They lost that in NASCAR. Your favorite driver, when you were growing up, who was your favorite driver? If you had to pick a second driver, who would it have been? Ernie Irvin?
I mean, I guess
Jerry
Rusty
Nadeau.
Lawson.
Jerry Nadeau. Who would you pick for a second driver?
Rusty.
Rusty Wallace? How about you?
At first, I liked Tim Richmond. Then after he passed away, I went to Dale Earnhardt.
You know, Laura and I were talking about Tim Richmond the other day, and I don't want to get off track, but man, a guy was such a wheelman, man. He was such a talent. But so you have these drivers that are bringing people into the sport. Dale Earnhardt brought people into the sport. He brought them. This fan would tell this fan or this guy on Monday at work, did you see what Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace did at Bristol? And then you'd have new fans the following Sunday or Saturday night. They lost that. They lost it. And these guys that are doing what they're doing now with the direction and the foundation of it, it's not who they are. It's definitely not who they are anymore. Who is going to replace Steve Phelps? I don't know. You probably just get the way they're running, you just get somebody just to be a yes man to replace them. I see that Mark Martin is getting very involved with NASCAR again, but from the business standpoint of it and helping them out. So hopefully I would love to see the stage racing go away. Stage racing has ruined NASCAR. What do you think?
Yeah, that's when I quit. I pretty much stopped watching racing. when they started doing that, so.
Yeah, it's nobody gets up and goes, hey, what we should do is take a break during a 500 lap race, let the guys cool down a minute. And Earnhardt he hated it. He hated that philosophy. He wanted you to show up like the restrictor plates. He hated it. We're racers. Let's go racing. What we show up with, it's your job to go home and try to beat me the next week. It's not not NASCAR's job to go, hey, we should put a restrictor plate on here and let these guys race. But the stage racing has just absolutely killed it. So as race fans, and Laura, you'll have to help me out because I'm talking. If you could change one rule in NASCAR today, like right now, one rule, what could you change? What would you want to change to make it better? Joel, is there anything you would do to, Joel's like, fire everybody? There has to be a rule that you just, besides the stage racing, that you would go, okay, enough.
Oh, the one win and you're in for the championship. That's the biggest load of crap in the world.
The format of that,
That's stupid.
it should be completely eliminated. Do you have anything that if you could change?
I mean, the cookie cutter cars that they have.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, they are.
They're ridiculous. And that's another point too, where Steve Phelps and all these guys, and you would think the manufacturers would go, hey, let's get back to who we are. I'm a Ford, you're a Chevy, be who you are. Let's not all of our cars look the same and we just put a damn logo on the front of it.
Yep.
So I think that, to me, leading up to Steve Phelps being terminated, amongst other things, is you lost your soul. You lost your foundation to what made you who you are. And that, to me, and I don't know if they can recover from it. You'd have to fire everybody because, my biggest enemy, I can't stand him, Steve Phelps, for what he did to this sport. And then you sit back and think he could bring that stuff in, but who was approving all that? And that was Jim France. You know, that was Jim France sitting back and going, this is the way it should be. Yeah, Steve, we should do it this way. The guy's 80 something years old now. You've come in, You destroyed your sport that your grandfather did fantastic with, and you destroyed it. How do you fix it? Your fan base is gone. They're doing something else. They're not there anymore. There's so many of my friends that I grew up watching NASCAR with that don't watch it anymore. They find other things to do. They're more entertained doing other things on a Sunday. At our age, we're cutting grass on a Sunday now.
Cleaning drains.
Yeah.
Clean the parts.
Fixing body parts on your car.
Only the ones you hit.
And listen, all he had to do is, I was coming. I was beeping the horn. He did nothing. He stayed right there. So that means you taught him. But we were having, when with the NASCAR, before we move on to the next thing, I firmly believe it will take years to fix it. What Steve Phelps and Jim France is, to me, is such a clown, just like Steve. It's like that old guy that goes to the park every day and doesn't change his routine. Every day he gets up, drinks his cup of coffee, walks to the park, feeds the birds, and goes. That's, to me, is Jim France. He's doing the same repetitive thing day in and day out. Who's going to him, which probably nobody, because I'm the only knucklehead, would go to Jim France and say, why don't you go home? Let us run and fix all the destruction you did here. But the stage racing, to me, if they could eliminate the stage racing and get back to racing and getting the cars back, I don't know what we're going to see right now with Steve Phelps gone and who's going to replace him. My thing is, I'm a Steve O'Donnell fan. There's a lot of people that dislike Steve O'Donnell. And when I met Steve O'Donnell back in 2003, really nice guy. I learned some things from him and how he was doing things. He had another guy that worked with him by the name of Jim Cassidy that was helping him. And Jim Cassidy went on to bigger and better things. But I would like to see Jim France moved out of there, move him out, and put Steve O'Donnell in there. And I know people are going to get after me for saying that, but Steve O'Donnell has to be better than what we have in there. The revenue that they make and they share with these teams is not going to get any bigger until you fix the problem.
Plus the price of the cars are so outlandish.
It's absolutely crazy.
You need to go back to the chassis they used to run with regular gauges, get rid of all this computer garbage, and go back to old school.
I can't stand the fuel injection, man.
It's stupid.
I can't stand the fuel injection. I can't stand it. It ruins it to me when you hear those guys go on there going, my fuel injection shut off, and they tell you, well, switch over. And then it goes back on. It's like, no, man, I can't stand it. I can't stand it because then it takes out the guy that's working on the motor and the team and the professionalism back there in the garage. And those motors are tuned, man. They're
only allowed to make so much horsepower.
So you and I were talking over the summer about everybody uses a certain engine builder. You have to pretty much, like in a truck series, everybody runs pretty much the same motor.
Oh yeah, Ilmore.
Look at the meat in this thing. Rodney did us up good.
Holy shit.
Then all the people that are getting screwed down at Midville with that race one crap.
Back in, I can't remember the year. I'll just say 2003. Might have been 2002 when we were running Mansfield. We started everybody race one back then, race one. And like today, if I wanted to go, you and I were talking about this, Jeremie, a 602 crate motor years ago was $5,500. Delivered to your door, $5,500. What do you think one is today?
So I bought one 3 years ago, and it was, I think I paid almost $8,000.
All right. So if you went to race one, he told me this, I'm about to shit myself, but I went online and checked. He was almost dead on. A good race one motor right now, if you wanted to go to Midvale and race with those 602s, what do we say, 12?
Yeah, once you buy all the stuff to go with it.
Yeah, it's like 12,000 to go racing. I don't see the economical part of it.
Especially the deal with the valve springs. Race One just wants to screw you for the price of valve springs every 4 weeks, instead of letting you put a pack spring on it and run it all year with no issues.
So,
And how's that save you money? It doesn't.
and I get it. I get why they're doing it. The 602. I get it. You're trying to make it economical, but for what I paid for your motor, now I got to spend that same exact amount to go get a 602
And you can't touch it.
and not allowed to touch it. And I got to hope that the guy that's in front of me winning all the time, he didn't touch his.
Or paid extra to have his tweaked up.
Yeah.
Race One, which is what they do.
And when you pull them, do they, and I don't know the rule completely. So if a racetrack pulls a 602 and sends it back to race one or whoever, do they give you a motor to use until then?
I don't know. I heard that
I don't
they
believe
did.
they
I'm
do. They
not
don't?
sure.
They did once upon a time.
Yeah.
Now they do not.
So now you're pulling your motor and now you're going to be missing a week or two until your motor gets back from being checked.
Oh, you know why there's Race One? Because tech guys are too damn lazy to learn how to tech motors correctly.
You know, but how do you police the people that are building them, like race one? How do you police them?
Well, you can't, because they don't give you no information on it. They won't tell you what they dyno. They won't tell you nothing.
So let's just say Jeremie went to race one, got a motor, and all of a sudden he was winning all the time. They take his motor, they send it back to race one. Race one says it's
Race
good.
One would dyno it and say it's the same as when it left. Give it back to them.
And then
And
it's,
nobody knows. What
and
they
you're right
bought.
back to where you started.
Exactly. Granted, there's got to be a little bit of handling involved with the race
Yeah.
one engines because of lack of power. But still, I mean, when you build engines for people, and you won't give them any information on that motor when they pay that outlandish price for them, I'm telling you, if I had to buy one of those, I would get the dyno numbers out of it. I guarantee I would. Or I would take it to my own place and have a dyno.
Right.
See what it did. It's total bull.
So if you're just now joining us, we're here with Jeremie Wiggins and Joel from Monster Motors. So Jeremie, now it's time to get started with you. Are you ready?
Fantastic.
So when did you start racing? What year did you start racing?
I started racing in like 90, I think 1991. I started racing street stocks. I actually drove my dad's car for a few
Orange and
races.
white car with the chrome numbers.
And,
Look at Dave. Did you hear what he said?
Orange and white car with the chrome numbers. I think
It
his
was
dad, I think
Camaro,
his dad got
yeah.
suspended for 2 weeks and Jeremy had to drive it.
Dad just retired. He was done racing. And so I just took the car over and realized we took a couple years off. And when we came back, we were totally outclassed. And so I didn't race that car long. I actually had Phil Rosem help me build a street stock. And I think we pretty much started winning right away.
Did you with Phil?
Yeah, it was a pretty nice car. It was actually still alive. It's the last car Bob Lucetti ran before this current car. So it lived for a long time.
Is that car still floating around? Or is it,
Nah, I think he sold it to somebody at Kalamazoo and they wrecked it pretty hard.
Oh,
It
man.
finally scrapped.
So the Camaro, was it leaf spring?
It was, yeah.
Dude, how tough was that to work on, man?
So I was just getting started. I really never worked on it, to be honest with you. I just tried to drive it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I raced it 5 or 6 times, and I had a buddy, Johnny Gump, was around, and he came and seen my new car that we were building, Rosem and I, and he convinced me immediately that I needed to stop driving the piece of junk that I got from my father and finish up the new car, because I was spending all my money racing my father's car instead of the new one that I had in the shop. So I listened to him, and once we did that,
Did you always want to be a racer, or was there a point that you said, man, Dad, I think I want to try this?
yeah, no. So I was a pretty young kid when my dad started racing. So I wanted to do it since I was probably 8 years old, 6 years old, whenever it was he started.
So what were you like as a kid, a 10-year-old kid? Tell me what Jeremie got into at 10 years old.
Probably, I was a pretty crazy kid.
Were you?
Oh yeah.
It's okay. You can talk, man. It's okay. This anything you say here is not gonna be held against you, man.
And we were always
We're-
crazy kids, my brother Josh and I. So we were always pretty much maniacs in the grand not much different really than today. Like I'm a maniac in the stands.
No, you're not. No, you were so close. Well, I don't know what happened to Jeremy that I once knew.
Yeah.
Because I used to tell Laura, I said, man, this Jeremy Wiggins guy, when you meet him, man, just he is out there, man. He is going to just watch. If he loses his shit, step 20 feet. Then she meets you and you're just quiet. Hey, how's everybody going?
I'm 51 now, so I have.
Damn. So as a kid, so did your dad race the whole time as you were a kid, or did your dad start racing like when you were 8, 9?
Yeah, Dad started racing. He started parking lot drags. We had a Datsun 280Z back in them days. After you could win 3 times, and that was it. You could drag parking lot drag.
Yeah.
Anymore. So he did. He won 3 weeks in a row, and we went and bought a race car. So I was probably 8.
So what were you like in school? Were you the kid that just couldn't sit still, or were you a good kid that just?
Yeah, absolutely not. I was a terrible kid.
I don't think any racer can say, yeah, man, I got straight A's, you know.
Wasn't me. I think Chase can say that. So he was a straight A kid.
So at what point did your dad say, okay, maybe you should be thinking about getting behind a wheel?
He actually didn't. In fact, they didn't. My mom and dad did not want me to. And so we took some time off. Like I said, my folks bought a house and we took a year off. And when all that happened, I was pretty good friends. Me and Scott Weil, we're still best of friends. And so I would help him work on his car. And one week he, Dad decided to race, and Scott said, well, why don't you drive my car? And I think I was 15. And so I was pretty nervous about it. And when they were announcing my name, my mom was quite upset. Scott was staying with us at the time.
Oh, man.
My mom was about to throw him out over that whole deal.
So your mom and dad, they didn't know you were getting ready to go race?
They did not. No, they didn't until actually I drove the car in the heat race that night.
You remember how you did?
I don't really remember. I mean, Scott tells it like I didn't do too bad first time in it. So
did you realize, so when you got done racing Scott's car, did you realize at that point you were like, man, this is meant for me to do?
Yeah, I was hooked. Yeah. So from that day on, it didn't take me long. I saved up paper route money and things like that and bought a first race car.
So let's go back to your first race. So before the green comes out, we all get butterflies and we're focused on trying to what's going on. But back then you weren't that guy. You were probably focused, excited, ready to go. Before the green come out, do you even remember what was going through your head?
I really don't.
I don't remember. I could just picture you just sitting there, just going, come on, man, drop the green. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. I was probably nervous.
So were you more nervous about what your mom and dad were going to do to you when you got out of the car?
I didn't think about that at all. I was more nervous about wrecking Scott's car than I was anything else.
And Scott was actually a really good driver. Scott was really good. I'm glad you stayed in touch with him. So that first race is done. You're in the pits. You knew at that moment, is that the moment you knew you had to go get a car?
Oh yeah.
So how did you handle it with your parents?
I mean, they lightened up after the fact.
Yeah.
I didn't wreck and I didn't get hurt, so they.
So at that time when you drove Scotty's car, was your dad already racing?
He was.
He was.
And so shortly after that is when I started driving my dad's car. So his work was keeping him away. Some Saturdays he was driving truck. And so I ended up taking the car to the track, and next thing you know, I'm hot lapping it because he's not there, and I ended up just racing his car.
So let's go to. Do you remember when your dad let you race for the first time? Like, do you remember that? Like when your dad finally said, "Okay, it's time, Jeremy. You can race."
So actually, I raced and he wasn't even there. So
Oh man!
He was driving truck, so I took the car there with intention of him showing up late, and when he couldn't make it, then I just raced the car. So
Do you remember how you did that night?
I crashed it pretty bad. I was afraid to take it home.
Did you? Oh man!
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the story really is. So I was 15. I wasn't even really old enough to tow the car, and so there's the little corner gas station. I can't think of the name of it. They don't sell the gas anymore, but you come down 301 and you make the sharp turn to go to Russia Road there. And there's the little, I think it was a Marathon or something then. And so I had to get gas. And when I was pulling out of there, I hooked it. First thing that went wrong for the day is I turned too sharp and I caught the trailer tire on the yellow pole.
Oh, no.
And so I hit it hard enough, it bent the tire into the trailer. So I was already going to be in trouble for that.
Oh,
I had to
shit.
take off one of the tires to even get to the track. And
Oh, man.
again, I was 15, so I was pretty nervous about that.
The first night that you actually raced with your dad at the track, do you remember that night? The first night that you
So Dad, I don't know that he was really ready to quit racing, and so it was I raced for probably a year before he even came to the track.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it was difficult for me at times because I had to learn it pretty much all on my own.
On your own?
But once he started coming, he would tell me things like, "You're driving too aggressively." I let him holler at my car, and he's screaming at me I had too much motor. And,
Did he really?
Oh yeah, he was always,
So let's think of a moment that
If you don't like the way I drive, just stay home.
So let's go to a night where your dad was there and you won a race. You won your first race. Was your dad there for your first win?
So actually, I won in his car. So we ran 2 features that night. Back in them days, we would have A, B, C,
Yeah.
and sometimes D mains. And so the first race in my dad's car, I actually won. I was in the slow feature and I won my first feature.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So, yeah, it really was. It hooked me for life. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
still stuck on
It really does change you, man. It really does. People go, man, being on crack's a problem. Buy a race car. There's a problem. So let's go. So did you guys work on the cars at your place or his place? Where'd you go?
At my father's. He had, so still where my mom lives now, they had a 3-car garage and we worked on all the cars there.
So let's have 2 moments here. Let's have a moment where you screwed up at the racetrack, got in a fight with another driver, argument, your dad's mad at you for something that you did. So let's go to the garage. You're at home with your dad and all that shit went down at the racetrack. How does that conversation go at the track or at the house? Does your dad just say, "What the fuck," and just whack you upside the back of the head?
My dad never really, I don't think he ever yelled at me ever in all the years. Well, I mean, in later life when I was going way the wrong way in life, I think he yelled at me, but as a younger kid, he never really got yelled at.
So your conversations in the garage. So
my dad would say, "You tore it up. Figure out how to fix it. See you later."
So were there any times that you were in the garage and it's you and your dad and you're having a nice conversation about things, and does it come to you that, hey, my father and I, we're going to do this and we're going to have fun. We're going to go racing every week. Every person has that moment with their father, or you know what I mean, with a family member.
Yeah, so it was a little bit later. I think I ran street stocks. I don't know. I think I only drove them about 4 years, and then I got the opportunity to race super late model for John Ferguson, and so that's really when my dad and I made a connection. He started coming to the races again every weekend and taking us out, and it was really a terrific year. The first year in a late model, we actually won the championship. So that was
wow, that's pretty cool.
Fun year for my
That was
father.
the red. The red late model with black numbers and yellow.
It was, yeah.
Trim.
So
you had a great relationship with your dad, and I see that kind of a little bit with you and Chase, and we'll get to you and Chase here in a minute. But of all the things that you've done, so when we were talking off air, you said how many wins did you have?
I've won 198 features.
So you have 198 features. So all these years that you've done that, and you see Joel's choking on the sandwich. I told him
Good for him.
we put it in a quarter for you, and Joel, he stuck the whole goddamn thing in his mouth and he's choking.
Can you get this?
And how was the
Very good.
Is it good?
Thank you, Dynamic Duo.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, that does it. We'll have this bunch down here in a minute. I lost my whole train of thought of Joel deep throating a goddamn sandwich.
That shit would never happen.
So you're at 198 wins. And I mean, is there a part of you that says, hey, man, I want to go with you to race supers and that, man, but I got to get these 2 wins. I got to get them.
So I was striving for it until I started racing with Chase. I mean, I'm truly having so much fun that I mean, if I drive a car, great. If not,
There's no part of you right now that's going,
I mean,
shit, man.
No, because I tore the car pretty bad the last race, and so I've pretty much got it all back together.
Do you?
Just in case, So we're gonna have 3 complete cars, so it's not out of the question that I'm gonna.
I mean, it would be, if Midvale didn't have the 602 crate rule, that would be the perfect place for you to go to try to get those 2 wins. What other track do you, what is your favorite racetrack to race on? What's your number 1 track that you love?
I mean, my number 1 track is Lorraine Speedway.
You're very good there. You're coming, like you said, you've been racing since you've been 15, but
Shady Bowl's probably my second favorite place, but the people are real assholes there, so we don't really care to go there too much.
just everybody in general, or just,
some of the drivers, the favorites up there, the Buck Pertees and guys
Yeah.
like that, like to run everyone over, and the track allows it to happen. So when you're an outsider there, it's pretty tough.
it's crazy. If you think about back in the day, though, every track had that. You know what I mean? So when I was at Painesville, there was always talk about a few drivers. Phil Rosem was one of them. Jeremie Wiggins was one of them. Everybody would go, man, if that guy gets next to you, you better let him go because he's going to drive. And I never had that problem with you at all. I mean, you were always, you got you fast guys, because I was coming from Painesville, but you fast guys, there was like 6 of you. Was it like AJ, Bartlome, you can name a couple other guys that were
Scotty Wow was always
Scotty,
Bobby Porter was always
Bobby Porter.
best. Chesbro. Bobby Porter and Chesbro and Rosem ran street stock, I think, the very first year that I ran, and they were always, they were the guys to beat. And I grew up racing with guys like Rusty Adams, so I'm a pretty aggressive guy.
Yeah.
But
that was our generation, though.
when I raced with those guys, it was no nonsense. Everyone was a very aggressive driver, and they were moving you to win races. I mean, Rusty was, besides my father, I think Rusty was my favorite driver. In fact, the late model I won the championship, I bought the car from Rusty.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was one of his high school.
Well, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So racing with those guys. So let's just say the way it is. Our generation, we were rough, we were aggressive, but it taught us to be who we are.
Yeah.
And Joel, you're involved with a dirt guy. What's his name? Ryan Markham. So are those guys kind of the same way on dirt? Are they?
There's a couple of them that are, but it's not as much. I don't see it as much on the dirt as the asphalt. But I mean, I know Ryan's had some run-ins with some guys, and a couple other guys had run-ins with each other last year, and Ryan got caught up in the wreck, and that seems like what happens when other people have problems with somebody else, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in the wreck.
Yeah.
And them cars, they get bent up so fast. It don't take much to bend them up.
So on dirt, I've only raced dirt once. You ever been on dirt?
No, just go-karts.
Just I raced a sprint car in dirt once, and I knew it wasn't for me. It's just what we do.
Yeah.
Man, those guys on dirt, man, they especially running the 410 sprints and shit like that, man. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them upstairs, man. But damn, man, especially running at Fremont, those cars, or Attica.
Yep.
But so I don't see the aggressiveness unless you guys do in the sprint car series on dirt. Kind of like
sprint car series, man. You get too aggressive, you're going for a ride.
And the same with the sprint cars on asphalt. We do see them guys rubbing in that, but leading into where I want to go to with Jeremie, the things that we did back then, being aggressive, made us who we are today.
That's right.
We are who we are today because of guys like Rusty Adams teaching us and running against Tony DiPaolo and those guys in street stocks. And those guys didn't play around, man. They were there to win, man.
That's right. I mean, you know, nobody's there to finish second. And, you know, as aggressive as people want to say that I've been over the years I've raced, I really don't care. I'm not there to make any friends. I bring them with me.
And I told Laura when we first started talking about getting a race car, and you both will get this. Laura said, "Okay, let's do it. Let's go have fun." And I said, "There is no." Am I good? I said, "There's nothing fun about racing. There's nothing. Even when you win, it's still not fun. You celebrate for 30 seconds.
Work.
Your brain, you're in the victory lane. You're thinking, man, I got to remember what I did to this car and what the temperature was tonight and what was going on with the tires. You're not even enjoying the damn win." And Laura's over there, "Oh no, we'll have fun." Week number 2, Laura says to me, "This is not fun."
I think actually for me, this past year was probably the funnest year I've had racing, and I don't even know. I stopped having fun a few years back, and
But you have really changed over the years. You know, I tell people, if you seen Jeremie back when we all raced together to the Jeremie now, totally different guy. Totally. And I see it. I see it because I raced on the track with you. You know, I see it. I see you out there now. And listen, we're all going to get in our wrecks. We're all going to get mad, every one of us. So the first person that goes, "Oh, Jeremie was a rough driver. Jerry, you're a rough driver." I'm a rough driver just like you and you and you and you at that moment.
Yeah.
When we're put in those positions where we have to be rough, you do the same damn thing. You know, they were, man, what race was it? The Hamlin championship race. I don't know if you watched that or not when he lost the champion. Did you watch it? Heartbreaking, man. As a racer,
yeah,
you see what he just went through. All he had to do is just right there. You see it. And then the cars scatter and he doesn't win the championship. So in our minds, we're doing whatever it takes to win that race. We're not, like you said, we're not there for second. Our brains work different. I'm not okay with second. I'm not okay having a kid and letting him play soccer or anything like that. My kid, I wanted to be competitive and go out and do what they're supposed to do in that car. But what Denny Hamlin did is what we would do. I think I would have been a little bit more aggressive trying to get there. Hell, I was aggressive for a goddamn $100 trophy at Sandusky.
First trophy in 30 years.
Yeah, man. I haven't raced a car in 27 years and I go out there and I have an opportunity. But I think the reason why we don't see a lot of new racers today like we used to back in the day is because of they're not competitive like we were taught as kids. We all were taught to be competitive.
I think really the cost. I mean, the overall cost of racing now is really. I mean, so us as drivers, I think we're our own worst enemies because we want more, and then eventually it's unaffordable for. I mean, the average guy, even to run a street stock nowadays, the average guy. I mean, you can't do it. You can't compete.
You know,
if it's $30,000 pretty much to,
yeah,
to build a real competitive street stock.
And listen, it's so I don't remember what race it was. Maybe Laura can correct me, but Sandusky, I enjoyed parking next to you because I wanted to watch you, see what you were doing, take notes, take pictures of everything you were doing, just so I could put it on my car.
I actually adjust on cars a lot better when I'm not racing. My mind isn't going 100 miles an hour. So
But
I do a better job for Chase than I do myself. So.
But you know what? My competitiveness, along with yours and Chase's and Laura and everybody there, you guys would go out one week and be the fastest qualifier. And I said this to you off air. So what would I do? What I tell you I did?
Buy tires.
I buy tires, put them on there, and still couldn't get you. You know, we went to Lorraine. I was fast qualifier. I come back in. Laura goes, "Chase has knocked you off." I'm like, buy 4 fucking tires. I'm like, get over to the tire place. Let's buy 4 tires. not understanding that, hey, there's adjustments, the weather's changing, the track's changing, all this stuff. But there's that little competitive wheel in our heads that go, son of a bitch just knocked me off. I think he was like the second to last car to go out, and she tells me, he knocked you off. Yeah, but I think that competitiveness with a lot of this younger generation, it just isn't there. It just isn't there.
Well, I mean, that, and, to win races and to
It's
be
tough.
competitive every single week, you don't just bring your car to the track the next week and think that, it fixed itself.
And the thing is with this, with the group of guys that we're racing with, I'll use the Wheelman series for an example. A lot of those guys in the Wheelman series, we race with for many years. A lot of those guys been in there racing that around these tracks for many, many, many years. So the competitive in that series is there. Every one of those guys want to win that race. At Midvale, I was looking ahead and I could see Michael Henderson out front, running with the front pack. And I was happy for the guy because we knew who was coming. Half the field was coming, but he did pretty good holding these guys off. But being competitive there, it's just not there with the younger generation. How do we get that younger generation to get there? And that's where we come in with Chase. I met Chase this year for the first time. Very down earth kid. You broke it to me that he was a Marine. So now I'm thinking to myself, I'm going out there. This kid's been through Marine training. They've put him underwater, freezing cold water for 2 minutes at a time. They put him in deserts where it's 150 degrees. He's walked up mountains with no shoes on for training. And I'm out here trying to beat a guy half my age for 20 laps. And you said, like, when people are talking too much, what do you do with your radio?
I throw it out the window.
You just throw it out the window. So my thought is, man, I need a neck brace, man, because this Chase fucking kid has just beat me down. I got to throw a neck brace out to get a couple lap caution to take a breath, man. And he's out there. The one race we were battling back and forth. I get out of the car and I got sweat pouring down me. I couldn't get out of the car. Chase gets out, cracks open a pop and goes, man, that was pretty cool. I mean, how does a 57-year-old man compete against that?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where the kid gets his demeanor. It is absolutely. I mean, his mom's. I wouldn't call her too calm in the grandstands either if she's upset. But I'm not. I think he's the milkman's.
As calm as he is when he gets out of the car, like it's just crazy. So when did Chase start showing he wanted to be a racer?
So when the boys, Jeremie Jr. and Chase, when they were younger, we raced go-karts on dirt. Asphalt all around, and so they loved it back then, and so we got on hard times. I had cancer, anyways we had to stop racing for a while, just situations, and
well, we're definitely glad you got through the cancer, man.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
It didn't slow you down at all, did it?
I never let it. So I never let it get me down. I had stage 4 colon cancer. And I just never let it get me down. I always kept moving. And that's actually, I mean, I built race cars. I wasn't allowed to work at work because, I had chemo bags and all this stuff going on, 56 hours of chemo. So they just,
wow.
And so I actually built a few race cars while I was supposed to be healing and resting.
Is that when the Chevelle got built?
No. So that was a few years later. I built a couple cars over at Schramm's. That's actually when I got the E-Mod. So we completely redid that. I remember the day I got out of the hospital, I went straight to the shop and made the E-Mod a roller. So it was getting powder coated for my first cancer surgery. And I don't know, I was probably stuck there for a couple of weeks. And the day I got out, I went and made the E-Mod a roller. So
did you really?
I did, yeah. So I was having a lot of fun.
Did you like the E-Mod?
I did. I actually did. I just got sick of the politics, which is like the street stocks. That's why I don't even care if we race them at all next year. I'm just over some of the crap.
So do you like the E-Mod better than a street stock?
Nothing's
going to beat a late model that you drove.
Yeah, no. I mean, even the Super that I drove, that was really exciting. But I mean, I think so. I don't know. I mean, I did like the E-mods. So that was going to be our other choice. If we didn't, the Super came about, and it's a really fast growing series, is 350 Supers. And
It really is. As long as they keep doing what they're doing, it's going to keep growing.
yeah.
So when did Chase get in his first car? When did he come to you and say, "Hey, Dad, it's time. I want to race a car"?
So when he got home from the service, we talked about it a little bit, and because I was on my way out, I was burned out, and I pretty much so I get some help, not as much as I used to get, and it's really hard to when you're in the shop all by yourself, pretty much for weeks. Besides, I have Dave McCafferty, and he's a big help. He does come and keep me company.
Yeah.
But I was just getting real burned out on all the work that goes with it. And when Chase come home from the service, he mentioned, "Well, I'd like to give it a try." And then so that I got reinvigorated.
Did you force Chase to go into service? Or is this something he just did?
He came home one day and said, "I'm going to go to the Marines." And
wow.
So I wasn't real pleasant. He was under 18. And I really didn't want him to go. Selfish reasons. I wanted him to race the cars.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I wasn't excited about it. I'm glad he did it. It made him who he is.
Our generation, our parents were like, "Get off the couch and join the service."
Yeah.
So you didn't do that with him. So he did it.
Nah, he did it all. I came home one day out of the blue and said, "I want to go to the Marines." I said, "What are you, crazy?"
So he goes to the Marines. He comes out. How long after that before he starts driving?
So actually, I think a couple of weeks. In fact, we ordered his helmet, and so we were waiting for a little while, and we got sick of waiting. I got sick of waiting, so I went and borrowed my buddy Bobby Schramm's helmet and said, "Here, Chase, try this one out."
Did you really?
Yeah, because he Chase he likes real nice stuff, so he ordered a Stilo helmet.
Oh my God!
And it's like weeks away, so.
Did you tell him, "Hey, when Dad started racing, we had leather helmets"?
Yeah, no, we didn't. I had an open face, but it wasn't leather.
It's okay. You're allowed to admit you raced a leather helmet. Let's see.
I mean, when I first started, I don't even think we had to have roll cages.
So Josh Poor's got a question for you. You have to answer it. You cannot avoid this.
Yeah, that's great.
You have to. And Josh Poor's a pretty cool dude, man.
Yeah,
He's a pretty cool dude. So Josh says, who's your favorite and least favorite person to race against? Don't answer it. Don't be politically correct. Okay, you don't have to answer it if you don't have to answer. If you don't want to, you don't have
It's easier to say my least favorite is definitely Josh Way. Him and I, we seem to run into each other every time we're on the track together. So that's probably my least favorite. And I think it's about, I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy when it comes to racing. I just think we don't like racing with each other.
It's just two guys that
we're just both have the same competitiveness.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't work out all the time.
And you know what? And racing needs that. I'm not trying to say you guys need to be out fighting in that, but racing needs that true passionate between two guys that are racing. They need that to show that you guys are being real out there. It's not being staged or anything. So Josh's, I know everybody goes, "Man, he's pretty rough to race with" and stuff like that. I never really got to race against him. But if you sat down with him, just you two become best buds, man.
I mean, we both work on our cars just as hard as each other. And I think, we love the sport equally, I believe, but
absolutely.
I think the problem is we're just the same. We have the competitiveness, So he wanted to know who your favorite driver would be. Would that be Josh Poor? Well, it wouldn't be Josh Poor either. I mean, I don't dislike the guy at all. I mean, I think he's a great driver. We had some run-ins on the track, but that's part of racing. I think in all the years I raced, I think I don't know. I mean, I don't like anybody when I'm under when it goes green.
You hate everybody equally?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's the same to me.
Did you like racing against Jerry?
I
Back in those days when we raced, that whole group of cars would just go by us, man. They'd sideswipe us and go by us.
Yes, I don't remember Jerry. He must have been running around the back in the day. 'Cause,
Pretty much was trying to run against your cheating ass motors back then.
well, I had Pritchard engines. They only lasted 3 weeks. I never had to change the oil. I just changed the engine.
So
Pops.
so this is something I got to figure out how to say this. So all of us back in those days, and Joel, I want you in on this because you went to Cloverleaf, right?
Mhm.
You had a friend that raced at Cloverleaf.
Tony DePaulo.
So
My uncle raced back.
so all of us would do something to make sure we went racing.
Yeah.
Now I don't want you to incriminate yourself on a felony or nothing like that, but like all of us would do whatever it took to make sure we were racing on Saturday. And I needed it. We were going to Lorraine. Remember they would run the 50 lap street stock races. You had to run the A and B to get into the A. They wouldn't. And I wanted that race so damn bad. So freaking bad, dude. And I did a couple things to try to get a set of tires to go race. Man, what did we run back then? Was it a Hoosier tire back then?
Nah, we
Pro
ran.
Tracks.
Yeah, so
Is that what it was?
they were
Back in
those.
the 80s.
Bias ply tires?
They were a bias ply tire, and so like there was a couple of places in Cleveland, Bell Tire. You could
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atomic tire.
Some of the real fast guys were cheating and buying the City retreads.
So was there anything out of the ordinary that you would do to try to, so back in my day when we were in Cleveland and stuff like that, a couple of racers would actually jump the fence at a junkyard and go steal a carburetor or something like that. I didn't have the balls to do it, man. You look at me, I'm not built for jail.
I never really had. I mean, I was fortunate. I always had people that kind of helped me along.
Yeah.
The whole time I raced, I had Big Bill for years would help me keep tires on the car. I mean, I had in late models, I had John Ferguson. I had in the E-mods, I had Hazels. I've always had, now I have, Dave McCafferty helps us. He's a big help to the team. Ed McKnight. I mean, he was a great help to us.
Ed has been so nice to the racing community.
Yes, he has.
He's been so nice. If you have any questions for Jeremie or Joel, just let us know and Laura will get to him and let me know. Coventry said he used to stop at that station you were talking about. You hurt the trailer at.
Oh yeah.
John Coventry said he would. Let's see, Laura, if you see anything else, let me know.
Yeah.
So I don't want to slow up. But so Chase, now you move him right into, he gets a street stock. Is the Chevelle the first car he raced?
It is. Yeah.
What did he think about it when he went out? The first time he come off the track and pulled up to you, what does he say?
So the first time I actually took a picture just because it was a moment.
Yeah.
He did really well. He went out and hot lapped and did great. And so when he came in, I kept a little distance from him because I wanted to get a picture, and he was grinning from ear to ear when he got out. And my buddy looked over. Dan, we call him Supermodel on the team. He's a biker guy. He looked over and said, "Yeah, we're in trouble." So we kind of knew right away that.
Did he know, like when he came in, he knew, he was like, "Dad, this is what I want to do. I want to race."
Yeah, and for him, he's a little different. We always want to go faster and faster. And when I talk to him, like, so the Super's a cool deal. I think it's gonna be fun for him, but like, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter to him if it's a front wheel drive, as long as he can go out and be competitive and win races.
Any disagreements with him at all? Like any disagreements in the pits? Like, "Dad, don't touch this," or you tell him to go out and do anything?
No, not when it's.
And the reason why I'm asking you that, I don't want people to go, "Oh, he's trying to pick." The reason I'm asking that, because I want to show the way you and your son get along in the pit area.
So we get along really well in the pits. The only thing that he is discouraged about me is the maniac that I am when I argue back with people, and he's like, it doesn't matter what they think.
Yeah.
You get yourself all worked up, but
Because that's what we do, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I mean, he was yelling at me about it one night. I think that was our only disagreement the whole time, and I told him, I mean, it's never going to change. It's who I am. That's what I do. So deal with it and drive the car.
So was he planning moving? When did you guys decide to go to the Super?
I mean, so I don't know. just, I mean, we were looking for something different.
You didn't
I
want,
mean-
you don't want to run any Wheelman races with Chase driving the car?
I mean, it's not, like I said, we have 2 cars that we're going to have 3 cars that we can
Yeah.
pretty much go race. Unless of course we sell my car. But then we'll still have the Chevelle and we'll still have the Super. So yeah, probably.
So
I mean, we'll probably certainly go to Midvale. I mean, I hate to say it with Joel here. He's a great motor builder for me, and he's one of my top guys. I mean, I'm glad I have him. He builds me great stuff. But with the racetracks closing, I think the pure stock, I'm switching a couple of parts back over on it. We're going to put the crate motor back in it just so that we can, because the thing about supers and super late models and all that, they
Yeah.
are the easiest cars in the world to drive. People act like they're this difficult thing to drive. They're not. They're simple. The problem is when you go street stock or E-mod, they're the toughest things to drive. And when you get comfortable with all that tire, that's why I want to go back to street stock and keep them on his toes.
So you want to put the 602 back in and go to Midvale and race a couple times? Is that what you're
I
planning?
mean, so
Did we get the motor that was in that car then?
it's actually going in Chase's Monte Carlo.
Later, y'all.
So
Yeah, it is. This is.
you see Justice in there, Justice's daughter in here talking trash on Jeremy.
Yeah, so they help us out. They paint our cars. So for Justice Auto Body, thank you. They do paint our cars for us. So we appreciate it, Bobby.
So when did you finally say, okay, let's get the Super? What happened to make you decide to go actually get the Super?
I mean, so a lot of it was when the tracks decided they were going to start closing, and it kind of left us in limbo on what to do next. So what are you going to do? And we love racing the Wheelman Series, and we love the street stock racing. But quite honestly, so we looked at the money. Okay, so yeah, supers are expensive, and everything that goes with them is expensive. But the biggest payback you get. So the object is to try to lose the least amount of money as possible. And so, I mean, when you look at your start money for the supers, which is up this year, and I think so I think we're going to be very competitive. I think we got an A1 car. Ron Hennis is helping us put it together, so we appreciate that. But I think it was just a decision that we talked it over, and it was E-mod. We could have went. I mean, we could have done anything he wanted to do, we could have done. And he hem-hawed around, and I just was like, well, here, I think this is the direction we should go. I think it's one of the quickest growing series in the country. And the kid's got a lot better demeanor than I have on the racetrack.
What did the wife say when you said to her you're going Super? Does she care at all, or she just
she hates them. So not because they're dangerous, but because they got to be push started every time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's one of my least favorite things about them also.
yeah?
But after I drove one, I had a completely different attitude because they are fast.
Of everything you've driven, where's the Super come in at for you?
Honestly, if it was my choice, I would have a super late model.
Really?
Yeah. It was my favorite thing that I drove because super modifieds. I'm a fender guy, man.
We got to have fenders, man.
I like the bumping and the banging, and
Yeah.
I like that part of it. I don't care if I got to go pound dents out. It doesn't bother me too much. So that would be my choice. It's just money. It's a money thing for us. Super late model racing is out of our reach.
How did you like when you raced the Super Modified? Where did that come in at in your opinion?
So funny story. Ron Hennis called me one day and asked me, hey, Jeremy, I was just curious if you were interested in driving a Super. And funny story, I says to Ron, I says, this is Jeremy Wiggins, and I hung up on him. Because I thought there ain't nobody in their right mind is going to want me to run the Super, and so I have to say,
did he ever say why why it was you? Did he ever say, this is why we wanted
Nah,
to?
I think because, some people just like aggressive drivers and some people, I mean,
Yeah.
I have the will. I have the will to win. There's races we won there's no way we should have won.
Yeah.
And I think, Ron and we're kind of the same, like working on them with the super. We're a lot similar in a lot of ways. Stubborn, for sure.
So,
But,
No, not Jeremie. You're not stubborn.
so the first time you get pushed out on a super and the green comes out for your hot laps, what's going through your mind, man?
so I piled it down in the corner. I'm not all about, I got the tires warmed up and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had, people trying to coach me along, take it easy, this or that. I wasn't trying to hear any of that. And, so I threw it down in the first corner and, the thought crossed my mind, this is either going to turn or it's going to hurt real bad, And turns out I ended up running a 12-12 at Lorraine and put a second fastest first time ever in it. So
Did it feel that fast?
it didn't, because the week before we had ran Bristol. And, so quite honestly, I think down the straightaways at Bristol, we were running just as fast at Bristol as we were in the super at Lorraine. So, I was already kind of acclimated to the super.
Was there any point when you were at Bristol, and we'll get back to the super in a second, any point you were at Bristol, you felt like you were Dale Earnhardt and Terry Labonte was in front of you, you just wanted to launch him?
No, I mean, because I wasn't fast enough to keep up with the guys that won the race, I mean, we were, we had a couple of good runs over the years up there, but, I mean.
As a
Chuck
local guy,
Barnes.
though, when you pull into Bristol with your trailer, as a local guy, it had to be kind of cool, man. It had to have been like, holy shit, man, I'm here at Bristol.
Yeah, it really was. It was one of the highlights, I think, of my whole racing career. I think probably one of the best memories. It's definitely in the top 5.
Is there any track you compare that to at all? Or is Bristol its own beast?
Yeah, there's nothing at all like it. There's no describing, just no describing. I've never ran Winchester or Salem, so I mean, maybe those are the same, but I there's no comparison to anywhere I've ever been racing.
How cool was that, though, man? Your first time pulling out on the racetrack, you're sitting there getting your belts on. Were you kind of like nervous?
So, yeah, it took me back some years where I was actually nervous getting in the car, and it's been a lot of years since I get nervous getting in any race car, to be quite honest,
Right before you went on the track, because you have a headset, you're allowed to wear radios.
Yeah, so I was, the clutch felt a little stiff and my leg was shaking a little bit holding the clutch in. So I'd say I was a little bit nervous, so.
Did anybody say anything, or like, people, they give you encouraging words? Did someone just come across radio and say, don't wreck it?
No, so I think the most encouraging words that I got is from Chase, and it was, if you don't step on the gas, old man, we ain't gonna make the race. And so I went out the next set for qualifying, and I ended up on the pole. So
Holy shit, man!
yeah,
Chase, Chase is like, yeah, he knew he was going to get his ass kicked if he come in there now.
Yeah, he was talking smack on me, so I had to get going.
So how does it feel hitting the banking there? Like when you're coming down the front stretch, you go into one. How does that feel in a car hitting that like that?
I mean, it just presses you down. And the hardest part to understand is the banking of it. So actually, the first lap around the place, I had the top of the windshield painted down about 6 inches.
Oh, you did?
And I couldn't see.
Oh,
and
shit.
So I was about 2 seconds off the pace because you drive out of the left corner, top corner of the windshield. That's all you need, really. You can paint the rest of it. And you're just driving out of, a 4-inch.
So they say when you're in a stock car at Bristol, you really can't see in front of you down the track.
No.
Is it like this? So if you're trying to, like our vision when we're, just so you know, if you're not a racer, you're always looking ahead. You're always looking to see what's going on with 6 cars in front of you. You can't do that at Bristol?
No, you're driving it in there sideways, and before you can even see the exit of the corner because of the banking, you're already standing on the gas, hoping this thing is going to turn before you get out of the corner there.
So you go out there for your first set of hot laps, and they throw the caution for you guys come back in the pits. What's going through your mind? You're like, holy shit, man, I'm here at Bristol.
So I get out of the car and I look at Bobby Schramm, which was there helping me, and I said, I got to get a windshield right now.
Holy crap.
And he looked at me and he said,
he probably thought you were joking.
That is the most ridiculous. I think they did. They thought I was joking around until I got a utility knife and I was trying to scrape the paint off the inside.
It wasn't going?
Windshield, you know. He said, "You've asked me for a lot of things over the years, but never a windshield." I
Hey, go
said,
grab
"Dude,
the windshield out
I
of the truck.
promise I'm going to gain 2 seconds if I get a windshield." And, you know, I think I started drilling that one out because we were done without it. I couldn't see. And
Don't tell me somebody had a windshield there at the track.
here come Bobby Schramm.
No,
running
get
down-
the hell out of here, dude.
running down pit road with a whole sheet of Lexan.
Dude, how is that even possible?
I don't know where he found it, but he found it. And, so we did. We put a windshield in and gained 2 seconds.
Dude, how is that? Listen, even as a driver, how do you think you're going to go to someone's pit and go, "Hey, I need a windshield"?
I mean, we were prepared to go to Home Depot and buy 2 pieces and rivet one together. And here come Bobby, like I said, running down pit road with a
Joe, I come to your trailer. I see a piece of Lexan over there. Are you going to sell it to me?
Pay me enough for it.
I mean, did he borrow it? Did he?
No, we bought it. I forget what ridiculous amount of money they charged.
Oh, I'm
us
sure,
for it, but
man.
We got it.
Was it another racer or was it the parts truck?
So there was a parts truck, and I guess the parts truck had a sheet of Lexan in there, so we lucked out.
Was it cut, ready to go?
No, we had to cut it.
You
We
had to
cut it- yeah, we cut it with tin snips, which was a real pain in the ass, but we got it done, you know. So,
How long did that take?
I mean, these guys worked pretty fast. They didn't want me to admit they saw that I needed some practice. So
Please tell me you guys videoed that. There's video of you cutting Lexan.
I
With,
really don't think. I don't know that anybody. I think Ed and everybody pitched in to get this windshield in this car quickly. And so we did. My wife might have taken some photos. I'm not sure.
I just can't imagine. Even you as a racer, when you seen him coming down pit road with a piece of Lexan, what?
I just was like, I don't know. How in the hell, who in the hell had a sheet of Lexan? You know, like who carries that as a spare part? You know,
What's that part that you sold a Europe that you had, remember?
The axle. That axle's in my tow truck. I was going to ship them back the next day because they were the wrong ones. I needed the big lug. And I ended up buying the small one, the metric. What is it? The 5 and
5x4.
yeah. I had him in the back of the truck. He goes down the backstretch, goes into turn 3, the axle breaks. He's standing in track. Where am I going to get a fucking axle? Hey, well,
I was a little mad at you that night.
why?
We finished second. That night. He ended up winning the race, I think.
Oh shit! I got to change my story. He beat me up over in turn 3 and 4 and took my axles, Jeremy. I knew nothing about it. But yeah, he goes, "Wait, you got axles in your tow truck?"
Yeah, right. I mean, it's one of the things, right? Who, you know,
Like
so-
a Lexan at the racetrack. I
Yeah.
would, of all the years we've all been around racetracks, even you, Dave, has anybody ever brought an extra piece of Lexan?
No, I genuinely thought, you know, I don't know what we're going to do here, but I couldn't see. It was, you know, it's pretty undescribable, you know.
Tell me a little bit about Bristol with the speed and that. Do you feel it there?
Oh yeah. The first couple of laps, like, I mean, for me, I'm getting older now, but the first couple of laps, you know, your vision's a little, you know, I mean, I have high blood pressure, so maybe
Yeah.
that was it, but I actually got a little blurry vision the first lap or two until you get acclimated with the speed. You know?
So when you're going down the front stretch, you go in the corner, are you lifting a lot or is it just a quick lift and
Just
back
a,
into
just
it?
a quick lift. Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know. There was guys considerably faster than I
Yeah.
was. And so I was driving to the gate, and then once the car kind of took a set, even
Yeah.
really before it took a set, you were standing back on the gas, just driving it through their side.
Could you feel it kind of kicking
Oh yeah.
kicking out?
Oh yeah. And it was, you know, it was uncomfortable, you know, the first 4 or 5 laps of doing that.
When you watch the cup guys or the truck guys or whatever racing, those race cars are sideways.
Yeah.
They're coming off the corner sideways. And a lot of fans don't pay attention to that when they're watching it on TV. But it's on the edge. When they say, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have Richard Lucius in here, and I want to ask him about how you set up a truck for Bristol when you're racing all them laps on that right rear tire. Is that what you did? I mean, are you racing off the right rear?
You know, so I mean, I don't know. They probably all were pretty equal.
Really?
You know, so I mean, I think probably I wore the left rear out more than I did the right rear. So
Damn it. Is it so you said the first race, what race was it? You finished 4th or something?
so the third time we went there was my best finish, and I finished 6th.
Finished 6th. How many laps was that?
So it was, I want to say 50. I think it was 50 laps.
Was that like,
The first time we were there, I was actually running fourth, and it was the first time I had ever put digital gauges in the car.
yeah.
And there was, gosh, I think there might have been 5 or 6 laps left, and I'm sitting in fourth, and the caution come out, and all my lights went crazy.
Oh no.
And I didn't want to blow the engine up because my temperature light was up, and they changed colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I probably didn't have them set correctly, and I got nervous and pulled off the track. I didn't want to.
You don't want to blow that motor up.
And destroy the car. It was a brand new race car. It was
So-
the very first race I took my current car. The very first race on that car ever was Bristol.
So when you got back home and you realized it was just the gauge as a problem, how pissed were you?
I was quite upset with it, because and they made the car one time. I mean, I pulled it out those fancy digital gauges came out and put the old analog gauges,
So
of
50,
course liquid filled because Joel builds such good motors. I don't want
yeah.
to hurt him.
You don't want to hurt his motors, man.
He's a big guy.
He so 50 laps at Bristol. Halfway through, you get the halfway mark. Are you tired or anything like that, man? Is it
mentally tired?
It just beats on you.
Oh yeah.
So how important is the spotter
You're
to you
up
there?
on the wheel the whole time. Oh, the spotter's very important. It's important you have a pretty calm guy doing that job too.
Who did it for you?
Not Bobby Schramm. So my brother Willie took. I think my brother Josh did it the first year that we went, and that was the last year that he was able to go with us.
So you're at lap 25. You just see I know they tell you on the radio, we're halfway down, man. Keep digging, keep digging.
So really unfortunately, what happened is one of my earbuds popped out. I really didn't have the first race. I really didn't have much of a spotter. So then, of course, after that year's when I bought the helmet with the speakers, and I got pretty fancy with that stuff.
Yeah.
You could run spotters. And so after that, we got it together. But the first year, honestly, like I couldn't, I didn't even really have two-way radios. I had I had a scanner and we had it programmed I had one guy that was a spotter, and I couldn't hear him the whole time anyhow.
So you're at halfway. Were you honestly, besides being mentally tired, do you still have it? I mean, that track, they said that track beat you up, man. It beats your body up.
It
bad.
sure does. Yeah. Cause your back is compressed. I mean, you get
Yeah.
compressed. There's so much cheese when you drive down in the corner, you get compressed down in the seat pretty good, even though they're just street stock.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we run pretty fast speeds there with street stock. So
Do you know what you were running there?
I really don't.
We'll have to find out it. So you get done with your race where you finished sixth, man. How happy were you, man?
I was pretty disappointed actually.
Were you really?
Yeah. Better story than that though is when we did finish, I think it's sixth. And so we get back, we rent an Airbnb. Everybody stays at the house with us, and the boys, I didn't get the sword. So the good friends that I have, they made me one out of a plastic knife, and they wrote seventh place on it. So really it's actually one of my prized. It actually is one of my prized trophies that I ever got.
That's awesome, dude.
Guys, wrote on a plastic butter knife.
So you go to Bristol, you have fun there. Is there another track that you wish the street stocks would go to that you would love to try?
Yeah. So actually Birch Run, I really liked racing Birch Run. And so I loved that place. I actually ran super late models there. And it's a fun place. It's really a fast track. I really liked it there. I'm actually excited because we're going back there. Our second race in the super is at Birch Run.
Is it really?
Yeah. So it is Birch Run, Michigan by Frankenmuth. So
Well, you can go Christmas shopping too.
we are. So I think that's part of my wife's plan. I don't know that we're going. We'll probably be at the track, and she'll probably be Christmas shopping.
We got a super now. You can't be spending $700 on Christmas gifts.
No,
Or
she
Christmas.
can do whatever she wants.
And we're going to talk about that here coming up. So you guys are going to go super modified racing with the 350 sprints. Do you want to do that at all, or is this all chase?
I think I do want to do it.
Do you?
So if he's scared at all, then I'm
You just do a fake fight with him. Get out of the car. I'm going to do
getting
this.
back at the gym, getting fit. Because for one, I don't think I'll fit in that damn seat that is for him.
Now,
But
I got to tell you, for me being off racing for 27 years, not being in a car, my last race was at Lorraine. I think I won the cavalcade that year, and I walked away and I went and did what I did, working for racetracks and stuff. But I got to tell you, when we were younger, you don't realize how in shape you are younger till now.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, man, our first race was Sandusky, wasn't it?
No, this year?
Yeah,
No,
Lorraine.
it's Trident.
It was a Trident race. Man, I don't know how I got through it. I think I blacked out the last 25 laps.
You
Just,
were stoked when you got in the
I
car.
think you're pretty much blacked out from lap one.
yeah,
Watching
I
it from the grandstands there.
dude, it was pretty rough, man.
From the restart.
I'm just kidding, but
But you know what, Will, I man, I wish I'd have met Will Urovic years ago.
yeah.
I wish I were. Such a great guy, man. And he would just come up to me and he'd go, "Listen, man, on the restarts, go. The green comes out. I think even you said it to me. He's like, the green comes out and you let everybody go." I'm like, I'm putting it to the floor. And Will's like, "Don't give me that shit. I drove that car. You gotta go." But I was trying to explain to him, especially in the Trident race, I was trying to leave a gap in case there's any wrecks. I have somewhere to go. I'm always in my head thinking, okay, where is my way out? Instead of running into these guys, where's my way out?
Seems to get a little more difficult with age.
It really does, man. And then I think Scott Skufko was in front of me on the last restart. It was a Trident, right? When Skufko was in front of me,
Yeah, he won the beat.
I'm like, man, his tires got to be wore out, man. I got this motherfucker. When the green comes out, man, he better move out the way because I'm coming. That green come out, his car kicks sideways, bounces off the damn wall, and I panicked. I see him hit the wall. I panicked, and I let off the gas, and he took off. And I come in, and all these guys, everybody yelling at me, "Why did you let him go?" Because we think differently now. At our age, we think differently. You know, I want to put it to the floor, and I want to go when it comes out, but now I'm just thinking, do I want to wreck my car in the first lap? And Will says, "I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
You bought a race car, put your foot to the floor, let's go on there." But as we get older, do you see yourself trying to do that more now, trying to avoid it when you race? Or you still have that mindset, hey, the green's out, boom, let's go?
Yeah, I'm still, I feel like at least I'm still on that mindset. I mean, if I ever worry about, so when I was younger and I first got into late models, I did actually, because it was so expensive to do, I actually was concerned about where I finished. And so there was times I settled into second just because I needed that money to race next week. Nowadays, no, I don't need the money. I don't care if I race next week. I want to win this week. So if I lose that mentality, that's when I'm done racing. So
now Jeremie, his wife, bought a new business this year. So Jeremie's trying to play it off like it's nothing. Jeremie's like, I know you're involved in this business a lot more than you say you are. So tell everybody what your wife bought this year.
So my wife bought a salon that she worked at for 30 years, 32 or 3 years now. And
what's the name of the salon?
It's Hot Lock Salon. It's in Westlake, Ohio. Very fancy place. If you get a chance to visit, you should.
Honestly, if you're on that
one,
side,
it'll help us buy tires, and for two, it'll make my wife happy.
So I was talking to Jeremie about this before we went on air. If you notice now with Jeremie, he has no gray hair on his head, but he has gray hair down here. And he tells me he doesn't do anything to it. But I don't know, man. This is kind of suspicious. I see a little bit of red in there, a little bit of blonde in there.
No, I absolutely do nothing with my hair.
Jeremie, it's
all.
okay, bro.
Yeah, I gave that up when I was like 21 or 22. I quit tips put in.
Dude, how are you not gray at all on your head?
Well, Gina cuts it out.
Is that what she does?
Yeah, I think so.
Listen, just one time, come to my guy. Let's get you some highlights put back in there. Let's bring the Jeremie back. We all loved one time.
Yeah, no, I think that guy's
No, we can save them, man. We can save them.
There's only room for one frosted.
Just, I'll pay for it. You come, we'll get it done.
I think that's.
You'd wear a hat the whole fucking time, probably. So,
I'd probably get made. I have bikers on my pit crew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
There's no way I could pull that off.
I have some biker
So,
friends.
Yeah. Don't they make fun of you?
I mean, probably
Oh, I
behind
got-
my back, but
No,
not
I
in front.
got- oh, they do it right to my
Jerry,
face.
one
I mean,
biker
I
friend
got,
does your hair.
you know, I got
What's
friends
that?
like
The one biker friend does your hair.
Joel. I'm sure he, you know, he probably tells you. He would definitely tell me.
Joel ain't afraid to fucking tell us anything. Joel.
No, that's what I like about the guy. He's, you know,
So
for real.
talking about Joel, he is one of the most, he says what's on his mind. And I had to tell him before the show, there's some things that you just can't say. So he stood in the corner over there just blurting them out till we went on the air. So he didn't come on air and saying them, but he really is one of the most open, freely guys. But that's why we like the guy.
Absolutely.
But that's the way you should be in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say the words that he wasn't allowed to say, but first of all, welcome. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for building me a nice motor that I got sitting on the engine stand over there. If you build another street stock motor for the Wiggins, can you kind of dial it down a little bit, man? On there, just build him a 305 and tell him it's a 350. He's not going to check.
I got 4 under the bench at home. So.
Yeah, he's good.
So how did you guys meet?
So I mean, we met in the pits. We probably had some choice words with each other.
No way.
Possibly.
Wait. So
Yeah.
I gotta know. So what happened?
Go back when Copen.
Come up a little bit.
Copen and Wilson
Copen,
and these
Wilson,
guys,
all
you
the
know.
guys.
So we're all competitive guys, and I like.
So who
them
were
all.
you helping at that time?
Matt and Copen.
Okay. Look at Laura.
Perfect.
Put this damn mic in your face.
And so we would you know, we raced aggressively. I mean, I think Matt Wilson is probably just as aggressive as me when it comes to racing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have run-ins, you know. And so I think the first time I'd met Joel, he was calling me some of them choice words that we're not allowed to say.
No.
Yeah, I believe so.
We do not have a bleep button, so
And, so I'm glad we worked that out. I got the truck, and so I wanted to get the engine freshened up, and I went and talked to a couple of different people, and I ran into Joel at a swap meet in Medina, and I thought, you know, this guy,
he's not gonna like me coming up talking to him.
Yeah, he's gonna brush me right off. But
Yeah.
what the hell? I'll try anyways. And thank God, because I've had some good engine builders. But I'm just happy that I hooked up with Joel, and I've had great success. I mean,
Yeah.
together we've won several championships in a bunch of different classes.
How many? I don't know. You probably didn't keep track, but your motors at different racetracks, and you won a lot of races this year with your monster motors.
Yeah, I think just about everyone in the Grand National Division.
Yeah. How about you just do one dirt car?
Yeah, Ryan Markham. He didn't do real good this year. He had some issues with some stuff, chassis wise and stuff like that. But I mean, the second year I was with him, we won a track championship at Wayne County. And I think we won 6 of the last 7 races.
So when did you start going to circle track racing?
I started going, it has to be 2021, because I got so fed up with the asphalt stuff. And I started, the one girl we really didn't date or anything like that.
Yeah.
But she's like, hey, my friend runs dirt cars. So we went and watched that. And I ain't been to a dirt track, and I couldn't tell you how long. And I'm just watching these cars, and just the motor abuse was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, how do these guys do it?
What's he cranking?
Most of the time about 82 to 8,400.
Wow.
You know, and then there's guys out there that are turning 9,200. You know,
That's what Jeremie and Chase were doing in their street stock, but
yeah,
I
no.
about
did
8,200.
I did actually turn 8,200 with mine a lot.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you tell
that
him?
Little 327. He knows. Yeah, he thinks I'm crazy.
I know
but I
better.
do it anyway.
But I always just hand 500 or whatever he says. So.
Do you really?
But,
So
well, he ended up having a problem, blew a head gasket, And at that time, like Dream and Mel Hewitt were so backed up. Somebody gave him my phone number and he called me and I went through the motor. And actually the first time after I fixed it, the first race out after I fixed it, he went up at Attica.
Wow.
And I've been helping him ever since that.
When was your first time at an actual racetrack?
I'm back at Cloverleaf, 73.
Holy shit.
Yeah, my uncle ran with Tim Fontana.
Back then, was that what was that? What they call the class back then? It wasn't a street
It
stock.
was a late model.
It was a late model.
Them were late models back then.
Didn't they call them something though?
Yeah, now they had sports stocks. That's what, or sportsman, that's what the Apollo was in when I hooked up with Tony DePaulo.
Someone wants to know what's the difference. Ask Joel, what's the difference with Chase's motor and everybody else's?
Cylinder heads and camshaft.
You cheating son of a bitch.
Ours are less than yours.
Okay. Jeremy, how's that sandwich? I want to get you while you're eating.
No, he's off.
It's actually phenomenal. So kudos.
His mic's not on. I took him off camera.
Okay.
His mic's on.
So, yeah, I mean, pretty much just, you have different cylinder heads in yours. Cam's a little different.
Did you hear that? He's not going to let me cheat. So with the late model at Cloverleaf back in those days, the racing was so much different.
Oh,
So you're one of those guys got to see the transition of racing over the past, I don't want to say how old you are, but
I don't care.
over the past years, but it's been a huge transition from when you used to go to Cloverleaf. Man, I used to watch the guys at Cloverleaf, man, they'd getting wrecks on the track. Fist fight right there on the track.
Oh, definitely.
Fist fight right on the track. And back then, unless Jeremy can correct me, but back then they didn't shake hands at that end of the night and say like they do now. They'll say they're getting a fist fight and they're friends the next day. Like Joe Logano called Kyle Busch and say, "Oh man."
No,
Back then they carried that through the whole damn season, man. It wasn't just, hey man, sorry about all that. It was drag out fights in the pits at Cloverleaf back in the day.
Yep.
And I really hated that place. It was actually
Did you
one of
really?
my dad's favorite places to race, and I hated going there because every time, I mean, he won some races up there, but we got tore up a lot too.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was, I mean, I used to say like Painesville, that's a whole different breed of hillbilly over there,
Cloverleaf was
And,
very, very aggressive.
Cloverleaf's the same. Like there was a different breed of hillbilly over there.
Yeah.
too,
It
so-
wasn't just the hillbillies. There was a lot of your ethnic people that ran.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Very aggressive. I mean, watching those late model drivers, they treated them like they were street stocks, man. They weren't afraid to push you out of the way, man.
Yep.
Watching Terry and Rusty and all those guys race back then, that was their lives.
Yep.
They, like you said, you had to do good that night, so you go race again.
We go there on like when Tony was racing a late model, back in like it was 88, 87, 88. You'd have at least 30 late models on Sunday night.
On a Sunday night,
And the place was packed.
30, man, it was crazy back then. When did you decide what made you decide to start building engines?
My uncle was very, very good friends with Bob Gale. And I was always into it because of him. My mom's the one that took me to the races. My dad didn't care about racing.
Oh, wow.
It was all my mom. And so every time I go over to my uncle's and Bob was there, we'd talk about motors. And then I always mess with motors, but I didn't really start. My first motor I built for a competitive was for Matt Wilson back in, I think it was 06, something like that. And then here we are today.
It just blew up, huh?
Yep.
The transitions that we've seen with motors over the years and the cost of it, of guys getting motors. So a lot of people would go, I'm just going to the dealer. I'm going to buy me a GM crate motor.
You could back then.
But I'm talking like a 350.
Yeah.
You could buy a 350 motor from the dealer cheap.
Yeah, you could buy one. That's one of the motors that Apollo had back in the day. It was just an LT1 short block.
Wow.
And that's what they ran.
From what you've been through over the years, has this been the toughest part of it all with engine building, with the pricing and everything? Has this been the toughest part, or has it been pretty steady at the same price?
No, the a lot of the stuff's went up quite a well. Most of the hard parts went up. I mean, there's, like I said, I buy a set of pistons for like Ryan Markham's motor. It's $1,000. And you buy a set of most of the pistons that you run into with like a street stock engine. You're looking anywhere from, depending if you want to run an SRP all the way up into, and you can run diamonds. They're over $1,000. It just, you pretty much got to see what they're going to do with the engine. And I mean, there's no reason to spend $1 million on something if you don't have to, as long as whoever is racing that engine understands that hey, this is what you told me you wanted, so don't treat it like you wanted to spend another 10 grand on them.
Yeah.
Because it ain't gonna last. I mean, certain things I put in a motor that I know even if they abuse it, they're not going to break. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you got to do that. You don't got to spend a fortune on a short block, but you spend good money on valve train.
Yeah.
As long as you can keep that valve train.
When I met you, that was the first, that's all you talked about when I met you. Cause I kept talking about, I got to have my motor like Wiggins, and we need valve train. That's what you need to concentrate on, valve train.
Yep.
And you'd never wavered off that, man. It's always been
That's a
valve train for
main
you.
failure point.
So I'll tell you a quick story, Jeremy. I'll wait till you get done, but I'll tell you a real quick story. So Painesville changes their rules that you got to run a 2101 intake. Now I wanted Rich Lucius wants to run my car once or twice at Painesville, and I said, okay, let me call Joel, because Joel said, you're not doing anything with these motors unless you ask me. You're just not going to have me build your motors, and you're going to go do whatever the hell you want anyways. You're not doing that. So I called Joel and I said, hey, they're switching these. Can you call and talk to these guys? And you did. You talked to Kevin.
Yeah.
But in conversation, and this is why I like Joel, and for the rest of my life, this is the guy who's going to build our motors. I said, I got to change intakes, because you're not taking intake off that car. You're not touching it. You have to go get a different engine. You said that intake, the 2101 won't fit with those heads or whatever.
It's not going to make a difference.
But
it just, they allowed you to run that intake because that's where the rules went in the Grand Nationals. But you're still running the same cylinder head that you're running. I don't care. You're only going to push so much air through that cylinder head.
Yeah.
That's all. And you're not going to see, I guarantee you put on a dyno, the two intakes, I bet you see less than 10 horsepower difference.
So
you're not changing anything else.
And he literally, like, and somebody said to me, you bought the motor, he built the motor. I said, this is a respect thing. If he said you're not taking intake off the motor, don't take the freaking intake off the motor. And I did call you a couple of times trying to get you to waver a little bit. And I think he was getting a little irritated with me, but I'm not going to do it to piss him off. You know what I mean? And there's a couple other guys that you already, that are going to call you.
Well, the thing is some of the motors that I've built have heads on them. They're totally 100% legal for street stock racing, but that intake will not fit on them cylinder heads. It's like, so I can't put that intake on my car, so I can't race at your track. It's stupid.
So if he said to you, if Joel said, if you called Joel and said, hey man, you got to change this part, or you were asking him to change the part, and he tells you no, are you going to change it?
No. I mean, when it comes to an intake manifold, it really is a pretty stupid rule. When you're gonna be stuck with 8 or 9 cars, which, you know, it is what it is. Everybody else in the country is running, you know, they just have a carburetor rule.
Yeah.
Cast iron block rule. And so I wouldn't do it anyways. I mean, if it was a place I really wanted to go, I might like have a longer conversation about it with them. But
Yeah.
I really think it's to me, it's a silly rule.
Well,
I mean, because at 2101, I mean, I don't care. Like, I have them. I'll tell you, I'll be the first to tell you, I have Brzezinski ones at home. And so if you want to spend $800 on an intake when you can just spend $300 on, you know, it's just silly. Like, it was one of the arguments that I've always had over the years. And it's really silly because you're going to be racing against them, and ain't nobody going to be able to tackle.
Well, I know 3 guys that run his motors. And I don't want to say their names, but I'll let them put it out there. Joel and I have 3 guys that are not going to go race there because of the intake.
I got 3 for sale though, if anybody wants them.
What intakes on them?
2101s.
You lie.
No, not motors. I got 3 2101s for sale.
Oh, you got.
I have no use for them.
So if you're looking for a 2101 intake, Jeremie's got them. Give him a call.
Right. Good one.
But my whole point was the reason why I like Joel so much, because he could have simply just said, do it, knowing it's not going to work. Because a lot of engine builders go, do whatever you want. It's your motor. Yeah, you're not touching it. You're not touching it.
I mean, like I said, being that it is such a, in my mind and a lot of other people's minds, a senseless rule. I mean, what is the difference? Why not say, okay, you got a class of cars, and all you guys got the 7101s, okay? You got your street stock guys that have Victors, whatever they got on them, okay? Granted, yeah, don't bring a Victor if you're going to run that class.
Yeah.
But what's the difference if you run a 21 or 71? It's stupid.
What intake did you run last year?
Victors
On which motor?
On everyone that beat me.
I don't
7101.
Yeah, whatever.
7101?
Yeah.
So I enjoy our conversations that Joel and I have and things like that. But the racer that I was talking to that is actually probably going to call Joel here soon to build a motor for this coming year. That was one of his questions. He was like, I heard through the grapevine that Joel won't let you change intakes. You're not doing it. If you have that relationship with Joel and he says, go ahead and do it, then you can go ahead and do it. But also, if you have that relationship with him and he says, don't do it, then don't do it. He's not just saying don't do it just to say don't do it. He has reasoning behind to the engines. He knows everything that he's doing when he's building a motor, what's in them, what can work. And I'm hoping that they adjust that intake rule to let Rich go race my car a couple times but you got a couple other guys that are not wanting to go now because of the intake rule.
Yeah, I like I said, I wouldn't. I mean, back in the day, you could change your intake and people would just do it to go race at places. I'm not. I'm in a situation nowadays. I'm not changing anything to go race anywhere. I mean, they got weight penalties that you can do.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was originally going to happen was a weight.
Quite silly because you're limited to this piece of shit tires that we run on.
Yeah.
In all the series. So all the horsepower, like I have engines that I can't run because of the tire we have, I personally can't. Maybe somebody else could drive better. Sure. But,
but with these guys here, and I'm really happy that they're doing it, tires are a huge expense in racing. In Painesville, getting that $100 tire on these cars, Scott put them on his street stock, went out and ran them, and he said, man, they were perfect for him. They worked out really good out there. Painesville eats up tires. Doesn't matter. That track if you're a top 10 car, it's going to eat up tires. So, but why did you keep going after, I got to say this the right way. A lot of guys are afraid to call you because they know how strict you are.
Well, I've had people, I wanted you to build me a motor, but I know you wouldn't build me what I wanted. Bring me your freaking money. I don't give a shit. I'll build you a 600 cubic inch small block if you want it. I don't give a crap.
Can I run that next year against Jeremie's car?
That'd be pretty pricey.
But yeah, so I want everybody to know out there, he is just a phone call away. And he's such a great guy to talk to. And if he doesn't agree with something, he's going to listen. If you're calling Joel because you're trying to get him on your side to do something or something, he's the wrong guy. He is going to tell you the way it is. And if it's not going to work and it's not the right thing, it's not the right thing, he's going to tell you. Jeremie, has he ever been afraid to say anything?
No, he's not. The one thing I have to say that I was most impressed with is I wanted, he won't build, if you're going to run a certain class, he won't build you an illegal motor.
Will not.
But they always compete with anybody that shows up with the illegal engines. And so that is the one thing that I've always noticed about Joel's engines, which turned me on originally to having him to build them for me. So,
And God is my witness. When I sat down with him in his garage, it was Joel, me, and Laura. And I said to Joel, I want a cheater motor. Joel, did I not say I want a little tiny bit of an illegal motor to have the edge on everybody? And he said, absolutely not. He said, I will not do it. If that's what you need, then I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. I can build you a strong motor. I can build your motor. And because I kept saying, man, I don't want to spend this kind of money on a motor and it blow up. And then he sat there and explained to me, every motor blows up eventually. You get to that point, that motor gets, but that's what was on my mind. I don't want to buy a motor and it blow up in week 2. And he goes, I can promise you, if you do what I tell you to do, it's not going to blow up in 2 weeks on there. And the motor that's in the race car now, that thing's strong as hell. And look at your guys' motor. How long's that motor been in that car?
just this year.
Is it?
So, but that motor Joe built for me years and years ago. It was a piece of spurts from other engines. And so there's a lot of miles on the crank and rods and certain pieces parts in that motor.
Yeah.
Have a lot of laps on them.
So the day I met him, there was one of your motors in the shop. Didn't you have a motor of his that was laying on the ground?
I think the 327 was
Yeah.
was there.
I think so. And I said to Joel, I said, I could just take this one with me. This one's ready to go. But I think you were refreshing it or something. Something was getting done with it
Yeah.
on there. But if you want a good engine builder and you want someone that's straight up with you and honest with you and it's not going to hold back, he's going to tell you the way it is. Joel is the guy. Now, a lot of you guys out there go, well, I don't want to wait 6 months for a motor and I don't want to wait. Then he's not the guy. If you want it done right, it takes time.
But you're gonna wait.
Yeah.
My buddy with the machine shop Medina, if you want to go down there and see you got a motor out of a Corvette, it's a year.
Is it really?
It's a year.
And-
Nothing with the machine shops that have closed
Mhm.
around here, and all the people, you've lost a bunch of stuff around here. It just everything got condensed in the machine shops. I mean, my buddy in Medina, Craig, he has a machine shop, RPM Engine and Machine. He'll be busy till he dies. He has so much work. He told me if I ever run out of work, come down there. I got plenty of shit for you to do.
Do you build more street stock motors than anything?
Probably.
Do you?
I got Steinman's modified motors I'm doing. But like I said, Zach Miller, I do his modified motor too. That one's in the shop getting freshened up.
So if I came to you tomorrow and I wrote you a check and said, get me a street stock motor that competes with Jeremie Wiggins, how long are you waiting?
As long as parts are available. The biggest problem now is blocks. If you wanted an aftermarket block, right now you're either going through getting a Summit block or possibly a Blueprint. Dart blocks are a couple months out because they lost their foundry. But supposedly the Blueprint block, the Summit block, and the Dart block is all going to be made over in Germany.
Is it really?
All casted over there, not machined, but casted over in Germany. And from I've heard, they are all fantastic.
Wow.
So you're looking at $2,200 for a block.
So when I went to Joel, he did say, he was like, it's going to take me a minute because they're having cam issues. We're trying to find, at that time when you were building a motor, the cams
It
were
was like
soft.
6-8 weeks out for cam.
Yeah. So to everybody that's out there and you want a motor, you're even like Joel just said, you're going to wait anywhere you go.
If you get anything custom and you get into the building season, you're going to probably wait 2 months. Some places are better than others. I use mostly bullet cams. Had nothing but success with them. No problem with them. Flat tap it, roller, whatever. But some of them, like comp, I had to get a cam made for Ryan's motor, and that took 6 weeks to get that one. But a lot of times you'll get lucky and you'll call like Bullet and okay, here's what I need. And they'll go through all their stuff and they'll say, oh, you know what? We actually have a shelf camshaft that is like almost identical to that. And I mean, I've gotten those that we get in a week or so. But if it's custom made cams, usually 4 to 6 weeks, if not 8 weeks. Pistons, depending on where you're at in pistons, same amount of time. So if you want a motor built, you need to do it anywhere between December and February.
Like, get to it right now.
That way you can call, because I've called Bullet before and gotten a custom ground cam in a week because they were slow. But as soon as and I called them 3 weeks later, it was 6 to 8 weeks.
So Jeremie, he's going to retire soon. I can see it in his eyes. And I know he wants to be at the hair salon every single day, sweeping hair and unclogging the drains and stuff. But wouldn't he be the perfect person to come into your garage and help you build motors, do the machine work? He would be that perfect guy. Do you have the patience for it? No.
No, that's why Joel does it for me.
So if someone, and I know Joel, don't get mad at me for doing this, but if you're looking to get a motor done and you want it done right, call the guy. If you want the number, DM me. I'll give you the number. We'll put it in the feed. We'll do whatever it takes to do it. And I hate doing that, Jeremie, because now we're going to get guys. We'll call them up. You and I are going to call him, and he's going to go, oh man, after that show, all these people start calling me for motors. You're 8 to 9 months out. So you know what? Don't call Joe for a motor. Listen, his shit blows up on idling. Don't call this guy. Do you know what's going to happen? Someone's going to take that little piece out, and that's what they're going to put on the internet.
Oh yeah.
His shit blows up during idling. So, but we had a great show. Jeremie, thank you so much for
Thanks for having me.
for coming out. And listen, Joel, you can come in here anytime you want. Jeremie's got hair and stuff he's got to do. He ain't got time for this shit no more on there. But I really did have a good time with you guys. Jeremie, you've always been great. We've always gotten along. I don't think I've ever gotten an argument with you.
I don't believe we have.
I think that the night when your son
I'm
came,
actually a lot friendlier than people portray me.
dude, I'm telling you, I wish to God we could record people in the pits, man. The way they're like, that motherfucker, don't go over and talk to him.
I'm actually a lot friendlier outside the car.
Yeah, you're a nice guy all around, but just with the Super this year, I'm going to use the Laura line, try to have fun.
Oh yeah.
It ain't going to be fun.
It's going to be, it's a learning curve. Like I said, I think we have a great guy that's been doing it for a lot of years.
Yeah.
helping us. And we have a great car. And I just hope my son doesn't get discouraged because it's going to be more than a pure stock.
Yeah.
But again, they are pretty easy to drive. You just gotta push down. His biggest fear actually is I want to do good. I don't want to do bad.
Yeah.
Then don't. It's really quite that
You need to
simple.
put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Dad, I don't want to do bad.
Yeah, don't.
Then don't.
Don't.
He can't get upset about the way he's going to be because those cars are such a different beast and learning it. But your son's he's such a good driver. It's going to come natural to him. I think you know that. I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think just watching him, he's a lot smoother than. I'm pretty erratic.
Yeah.
The kid's really super smooth in a car. He doesn't enjoy beating and banging. In fact, he dislikes it. So that was a deciding factor for us to go super modified racing. He just wants to race and have fun, and so do I. And so we're pretty excited about it.
And like you said earlier, it doesn't matter what happens on the track. You got the same exact guy. If he's in a wreck or not, it comes out. He's just totally calm when he gets out.
Yeah, well, I've seen him in not such a calm mood. So
He sure doesn't
but
show
he
it in the
cools
pitch,
off really quickly. So.
Like the night when he drove down into me in the turn one.
Oh, yeah.
He was so calm after that, man. Joel, do you mind if I give everybody your number if I put it out there?
I don't care.
Jeremy and I will always be at the top of the list.
I do my news too.
Yeah, we're not done yet. Laura's got to do her news
Be
and then
very
I'll
fast,
wrap it
and
up.
then
So
everybody can leave. You can stay here. I'll just sit behind
look
you.
at this damn
Are you
sandwich.
just gonna
It
leave
was
while I eat?
absolutely
gonna be, like, super
phenomenally
fast.
good.
Don't
Dynamic
start-
duo. Hold on, let me move this mic.
Don't even start eating it yet.
Look at that. Can they see it, Dave? Hold on. This thing was huge.
Yeah, I had to actually separate some of the meat so that I could actually eat it.
Thank you, Dynamic Duo, our sponsor. But hold on one second. Let me let Laura get in here.
You can stay right here because
I have to.
I'm gonna need your input here. So you cannot eat yet. Hey there, welcome to the Princess Pit Stop. We don't get to do my cool graphics because I'm in training today, so I apologize. So real quick, just to do a rundown. So this weekend did you guys talk about the Dillon race?
We did not.
Okay, you did not. Well, let's just throw a shout out there that we did have a couple of local drivers that had some success. Let's see, Josh Way finished third, who we had on the show last week. He was live from I like the applause. And then Joshua finished 15th, Joshua Way. So congratulations on those guys. The winner was Bobby Tumbleston, who actually won for the second year in a row. So and I think he won like the Crown Vic race too. He had a real good weekend. So congratulations to those drivers.
He's the Jeremie Wiggins of the South.
Could be. Just so everybody knows, it's January, but there's still racing going on now. Next is the Chili Bowl Nationals. No, I don't mean you can eat chili.
Damn.
Because he always thinks of food.
Cars.
Yeah, I wish we knew already like what the car count is. Well, we probably won't know for at least a few more days, but it's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It goes from January 12th to the 17th. So that I don't know it's on Flow Racing. So be sure to watch that. If that's anything like what we just watched at what was the race we just saw?
Dylan.
No,
the
the sprints.
sprints.
It's on my
The micro
news.
sprints.
No, it's
Kyle Larson and I went.
Oh,
The indoor.
Oh, that's the
Shit.
okay.
Rumble.
Yeah.
No, not that. It was the Tulsa shootout. Oh my gosh. So the Chili Nationals,
That's boring.
they're all in Tulsa. That's another thing I wanted to point out is that real quick, this is gonna be like my next to last thing. So you guys already talked about the Steve Phelps thing, so that's cool. So I love that the Tulsa shootout, they have like a tumble total. And Jerry and I were talking about this, that how crazy is it that like you actually count how many cars take a tumble, how many sprints, which is wild. I mean, you think, oh, that's not so bad, but I'm sure it doesn't feel good. It has to hurt a little bit. 179 was the tumble total. Have you ever tumbled in a sprint?
I've never tumbled in a sprint. I flipped over in a car. I've watched Jeremie flip over in a car before.
Really?
Oh.
Joel, I've never watched you flip over in a car, but I mean,
I
Too much-
flipped
too much
in
one.
2011.
have you really?
Really?
What's the feeling of it?
Honestly, I usually wear my shield up a little bit to get some airing. And when I flipped, there was a piece of dirt. I don't know how I got underneath there, a piece of grass. And I'm in there. I'm like, am I dead? And I lift up my shield, and this big old piece of grass falls out. I'm like, oh, I'm good.
You were like, Jeremie, how about you?
I don't know. It all went so fast. I've had some pretty big crashes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know. I just
Was rolling over one of the worst or no?
no. I crashed a late model at Birch Run, Michigan one time. That was a pretty hard wreck. And
Wow.
I had a throttle stick at Lorraine, and I went over and hit the pit road wall one time there. So that was a pretty hard wreck.
So many bad wrecks in turn one with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
I still wish they would just take the wall down, because there was a lot of times I went over that hill and never hit anything. I think it does
Right.
more harm than good. There.
What was that really bad one we saw? Stacy Gherkin?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Wide
been some big
So-
ones over there.
Real
Well,
bad.
Gherkin and that other guy, number 80.
Rick Page.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
Pugh hit it too.
Did he?
Joe Pugh hit it. head on.
Wow.
Okay, well, I'm almost done. Everybody, please stay tuned.
Jeremy's like, come on.
I know he's like, I gotta drive home.
I'm good.
Actually, just to mention, family member of yours. Okay, so the How Wheelman series actually has their banquet this weekend. So just a shout out there. That's January 10th. Jeff Kuykendall was the series champion. So congratulations on that. This is their weekend for celebrating. Thank you. And then I think coming up in a few weeks is Sandusky's. So there's you guys championship. Congratulations.
Boo.
I believe he won 3.
I mean, all right. And then back to the Tulsa shootout. And this was a question that we were going to have for Joel real quick.
Yes.
So the winner of the big race there got DQ'd. So Jet Yantis, younger guy, got disqualified after failing tech for an illegal motor. So then they gave the win to Frank Flood. I think that's how you say his name. So the controversy of that is afterwards they talked to the tech guy and he went through the whole rundown of what was illegal on the motor. And then everybody was like, well, who was the motor builder? So asking you as a motor builder, is that something that you, if something happens and one of your motors gets DQ'd for something like that, is that something that you want them to publicly say your name? Like say, okay, this was my motor and this, you know, I'm the one that did
Well,
this.
here's how that works. If you're a motor builder and you get, I don't know what you want to say, if you get like the rights to do motors for these cars, and you get like, you know, crate motors, same type of deal, and you do, now if it's something you made a mistake on, which probably not, but if it's something that you're supposed to say, you're a motor supplier for these cars, so your motors have to be within this. If it's blatantly done because somebody slipped you a few bucks, then yeah, you blame the motor builder. But if it's a motor for a class that you run, he runs, you come to me and say, hey, I want a $10,000 crankshaft in this thing, and I want 450 cubic inches. Not the motor builder's fault.
Yeah.
Not my fault. That's what you want. That's what you got.
I think if I remember correctly, it was something with a valve. They did something with a valve, and then he said there was a bunch of sealant or putty or something around the valve or something. So
They probably changed the port on it a little bit with some
Yeah,
epoxy or something like that.
They ported the head and then they tried re-epoxy. And
to try to, is that what it was?
I watched a little bit
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So they, what you're saying is they did the head.
There was port work done. And
Then they
there
tried
was so
covering
much
it up.
stock work. Well, so sometimes when you do port work, epoxy is how you seal it up.
Yeah.
When you break into other chambers.
So
I feel bad for the young kid.
Feel bad for the kid.
You know, he ran his ass off.
Do you think he knew?
Well, the kid don't.
The kid didn't know.
It depends. I mean, you never know. The way some parents are, they'll spend the money, whatever it costs for their kid to win a race.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't care. You know, and when something like that happens to a kid, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know,
It is sad. Yeah.
It's going to bother this kid for a
Sure
long
will.
time.
You know, but I mean, theoretically, if that engine builder screwed that head up, you should have took that head and threw it in the garbage,
Yeah.
or welded it back up, put it back in the CNC machine, and redid it so it was right.
Yeah. And also
So-
for the second place guy, you never want to win a race because the leader was cheating. Like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. If I was a driver, I don't think I would want to win a big
I'll
race
take
like
it anywhere
that.
I can get,
Well,
especially if it's against Chase Wiggins.
He was hoping every week Chase would, please let Chase be illegal. Please, 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 please. Okay, my last article, and then we are done. So we're going to talk real quick. So back in COVID, we didn't have NASCAR. Everybody, we had nothing. So we had to rely with racing, iRacing. All of the drivers were doing iRace. I think this thing was like showing you, Jerry. Is it following you?
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Anyhow,
Stay right here.
so iRacing is such a big deal now that like now we see all these different series and everything. So this past week, unfortunately, we did not get to do the hangover race at Sandusky due to the closing, which is horribly sad. I tear up every time because that was my home track. But there was a big hangover race.
Could you tear up right now for ratings, please?
Let me think of something really sad. Wait, I just teared up thinking about all the times you lost this year.
Oh.
To Chase.
To Chase.
Wow.
So there was this big
Man, that was deep.
there was this big hangover race. They did at Oswego Speedway, and it was the inaugural online hangover race hosted by the Northern Ohio Sim Racing Association. Years ago, did you ever think we would actually be talking about a video game as news? But it is, because everybody takes it so seriously. They put so much money into it. The cars look so real. And there was a few local guys that actually did really well with this hangover. So Jesse Fishbach was a winner, along with Kevin J. Cox Jr., Andrew Bogus. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I apologize if I messed up. Okay. And Kevin Myers, who we mentioned before, is the new race director at Painesville Speedway. Those were the big winners. So we're going to kind of include that a little bit into our news because, I mean, it's really something kind of neat. I mean, I've seen these setups, and it's like the amount of money spent on this is mind blowing. So if you guys do iRacing, post us your setups, because I think it's really fascinating. I think it's so neat what the amount of time they put in.
Jeremy and I, we still do racing. We don't call it iRacing. We still have the Atari from 1981.
2600
Yes, the 2600 Atari. We still have
the
it.
joystick.
Grand Prix.
Yes, we still have the Grand
Showing the age here.
pole position.
Well, that's all for the Princess Pit Stop. I'll hand it back to Jerry.
real quick, going back to the kid that got DQ'd at. Oh, that's bullshit. The kid that got DQ'd, I do feel bad for him. I mean, that's a hell of a way. You win the biggest race of your life. I mean, you probably never get that chance ever again, and you get DQ'd from it. So I hope it was legit. You said you were following some of it, so I hope it was a legit DQ. From obviously, it seemed like it was. It wasn't something stupid like Ty Majeski got at the snowball when he got. Listen, listen. I'm not letting the Ty Majeski thing go. Did you watch that?
I did.
Did you feel he jumped?
No.
So my whole thing is probably the same thing as a racer. The rule states you can accelerate leading up to that box. I seen what you seen. I heard what you heard. Him accelerating in up to the box. It doesn't say how. It doesn't give you a rule. You can only accelerate a little bit going to the box. It says you can accelerate. And listen, at the end of the night, man, I think he got screwed. I think it really put a dark cloud over that race, you know, to DQ a guy that way. Now, if we have 100 guys or 100 racers in a room, 50 of them are going to say he jumped and 50 of them are going to say he was good. As a racer,
He was going to win the race,
regardless.
So
What-
they stole it from him.
When he,
Regardless of the restart or whatever.
yeah,
They weren't going to beat him. He had the dominant car. They
when they black flagged him, they were showing the in car and they were showing how far back Nasi was. He had nothing for him. He had nothing for him. And Ty,
I think even that Nasty said he had nothing.
yeah. But at the end of the day, if you and I are side by side, we're trying to figure out how we're going to get each other off that line. You know what I mean? We're going to try. In my mind, I'm not thinking I'm trying to get you to jump. I'm trying to make sure. I want to hear if you're spinning your wheels when we take off. I'm trying to get you to do that. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get close to you to try to make you a little nervous, a little bit. Jumping that way, losing that race, that snowball race that way is just, it's not the right way to do it. So, but Dave, thank you very much for being our engineer tonight and fixing everything and and getting it to where.
Dynamic duo. The sub was amazing.
And I really wanted to really touch more on the Steve Phelps issue, but I will do another show maybe Thursday just on Steve Phelps and NASCAR and what direction it's going. But with Jeremie in here, I wanted to get to talking about it, and I really enjoyed discussing this with you, man. And hopefully you guys have a great year coming up. And if you want to park the street stock when we're racing, you can park it, man. You don't have to bring it out. Joel, thank you. Thank you for everything you do for all the racers around here. We'll put your number up there, and hopefully it doesn't hurt us, Jeremie. We should have brought him in and just fed him and not talked about his engines at all. We should have just said, worst engine you could ever buy. So thanks to Laura. Thanks to everybody that stayed tuned. Hope it wasn't too boring. Dave, once again, thank you for coming in and helping us. Until our next show, maybe Thursday, everybody have a great night. Be careful out there, and let's get those race cars done. We'll see everybody in a couple days. Thank you. Good night, everybody.